I had the benefit of being in a writer's room too and like watch people audition.
Oh.
I worked on a show called AP Bio, which is really great. Everybody go watch it. But we'd get people's auditions coming in, and to me, the tried and true, white wall, camera on you, you did the lines and you brought something to it. Always won versus anybody doing something else. And like as soon as somebody did something else,
that's good to hear.
That's instantly what the room would talk about. Like no one was like really focused on like that was cool that they did that. Instead, it was just like, God, that was weird. Why did that happen? You know what I mean?
Oh,
so, like,
interesting.
I imagine it's different for everything. Like hers, I mean, that's such like a deep and detailed show. It might be a very cool thing to do something like that, but like. In our room, it'd be like if things got too wild, you almost did yourself a disservice. It was,
I love hearing that. But now I want to hear more. Okay, so how many would you watch? Like if you had like a co-star thing, you were one of 10 writers on the show or something?
Yeah.
You all would watch the tapes?
Yeah, if it was like, because our showrunner, Michael Bryan, the amazing genius, Michael Bryan, he's my friend.
I gotta get him on the podcast. We were supposed to do it, and it never happened.
Oh, he's great. And a Chicago legend. We came up together in Chicago, and just like one of the most unique, amazing performers of all time. But he was running the show, of course. So a lot of the times he would just watch the stuff on his own. But it was such a big familial process writing AP Bio. That it would be like, okay, we're going to look at these auditions for this kid coming in this episode. We got this part for this, teacher part. And we'd like sit there and we would watch. And it'd be about, the 10 selects would come in. You'd get like the 10 best. And the casting director, Wendy O'Brien, amazing. She would pick great ones. And it was such a great process. It would be like, there was never any real stinkers in there. But yeah, every now and then you'd get that one where someone, and again, no one is bad. Everybody who comes through is like, this is, being on the other side of like casting.
Oh yeah.
Always sets your brain free as a performer. So we sat here and we realized how anxious and like self-deprecating I am. I do have a lot of confidence in myself in auditions now because I've seen the other side. And I do know that it is like the people coming through when they want you in there, they want you in there because you're good. When your tape gets passed along, the tape's getting passed along because it's good. But, sometimes people would take swings and it's like Wendy maybe thought this was a cool choice, but it would be like sometimes it was just so jarring when it's just like, just do the audition like we all know the audition. We can all imagine you doing it on TV. You don't have to wear the costume and all this stuff. It would just be like, just do the part and let us see you do the part.
Yeah.
And then that's what always would win. Would be like, that guy was wild.
Was it clear? Fantastic. Was it clear to all 10 or would it be more like a jury deliberation?
It'd be like jury deliberation. And again, it's like, it also shows how much is out of your control because so much of this shit is taste,
it's
dude.
So frustrating.
It is like, and that's why you can't do yourself a disservice when you just do yourself doing it. Like removing this idea of like, what are they looking for? I'm going to try to do that versus just be like, I'm Brendan, and this is what Brendan would be like in this part. Serves you so much better. Because, you know what? We've had two where, like, someone really nailed an audition, and when they were on set, it was, like, different, and we don't know why. You know what I mean? It always went great, but it was always, like, you're always better off being authentic to yourself and doing the authentic you because trying to, like, mimic something that feels false is always going to ring false eventually when it's, like, action time.
That's why I never do accents because I'm like, if I can do it on a self-tape, there's no chance I could do it in person.
Dude, and that thing would be gone by lunch. It'd just be like, what did I sound like again? If I could just see a tape of me doing it.
Every accent I do becomes Irish at some point. You know what I mean? It just bleeds into Irish. That's really interesting. So this might be more of a Mike O'Brien thing, but when you watch those 10 selects or whatever, did you like know who those people were? Did it go in one ear and out the other, or did you like remember, oh, this is so and so, this is so and so, and then like months later think, remember so and so?
Oh, like do you mean like were they lasting, or did I know the people personally?
No, did they last? Like was it some like he's not right for this one, but he sticks out in my head?
That's definitely happened.
To the writers?
Sure. Yeah. If they ever came up again, it'd be like, oh, I remember him from that. But yeah, and the thing that really soothed me was everyone who got sent in was great. like and doing a great job. Maybe not great for the part the way we saw it, but it was never just like, what a stinker. Can you believe this person's in Hollywood? Never happened. Always a great performer. Just be like, oh, this wasn't right for this one. And there'd be times too where that process, because you're looking at so much, would mean like sometimes 2 lines in, like it'd be like, not right, and move on to the next one. I was always an advocate for like, please let's let him see the whole audition. Everybody work for it.
Good for you.
But sometimes it just happens where it's just like, we all know this isn't the right thing, and it's not because the person was doing bad.
It just wasn't.
It just wasn't a fit. It was just like tones different. Sometimes look does come into it, but it's being on the other side of casting freed my tortured brain so much, and that is why like self tapes, great. I'll have it into you. Boom. Here's what I do. Going in person, same thing. I would go in, and if they like give you, I did like if they gave me something to go another direction, always super fun. But I never, once I started doing the performance, I wasn't nervous. It was the social aspect face to face that made me nervous, that I'm just like, yeah. Audition wise, I always, because I've seen the other side of casting, always had a strong sense of self and just be Brendan and do what Brendan would be happy doing in this part versus trying to service what you think it is.
Yeah.
Because then you're just doing like what everyone else does.
Right. Yeah. I just want to know, like, I like to celebrate small wins because I don't have many big ones. But like, I would love to know if I was one of those selects, you know what I mean? Like I always send tapes in and then nothing. And you're like,
I've had friends who are like in rooms, and whenever they told me, it always made me, I'm the same. I like that too. It really drags on you, especially, the world goes away for 2 years. You go on strike for a whole year. And like, so it's always these starts and stops. And so when you send something in and don't hear about it, it stinks.
Yeah.
And, it is like, I understand how busy everyone is. But yeah, to me, that's the same thing too. Like you live on those small victories.
Yeah.
Getting your auditions like a victory in itself. Sending it in and like having your manager give you a thumbs up is a victory in itself, right? Because it's like showing that you're doing good work. And then I always would love if you found out like, oh yeah, you were top 3 on this, you just didn't get it, But yeah, it was. I always liked when people gave it to me too.
Yeah, because like I just had an audition for Euphoria, which was literally podcast host.
Oh!
That was the role. I've been training my entire life for this. Nothing, and I'm like, was I just bad?
You know what though? I don't know what to say to that because I go through the same thing too. You never realize how close you probably are sometimes. It is like, and again, I can't express this enough. Sitting in a room, we'd get like 10 people and they were all great. And it is just like, I never saw those people anywhere else or whatever.
Yeah. Oh.
I wish I could tell everybody. But like whenever I got a chance to be like, if it was a buddy or something, I'd be like, yeah, we watched you in the room. It was great.
Yeah.
And no joke, it was great. And there's that part where you go, well, why didn't I get the part? There's 18 billion reasons why, and none of them have to do with you. It's like not your fault you didn't get it. But it is like, the attaboy is like you got the audition. And the casting directors out here are so good that if you got the audition, that is a good win. And you don't know, but there's a chance, you were in the writer's room and we were watching you and you were close.
Yeah. Well, I auditioned for AP Bio.
Yeah, I might have seen you. I don't remember. It was like 10 years ago.
Did you write for every season?
I wrote season 2 through 4, and I feel like I might 1 through 4 as the janitor.